Against the 3 seed are Brandon Valley Lynx. Introducing first the offensive unit for the Raiders. At center, number 67, a 6'1", 245-pound junior, Eli Hewitt. At left tackle, number 78, a 6'1", 235-pound senior, Jonathan Coronado. At right tackle, number 69, a 6'2", 265-pound junior, Jesus Jones. At left guard, number 60, a 6', 260-pound senior, Brennan Bussey. At right guard, number 72, a 5'9", 215-pound junior, Spencer Pinkman. At wide receiver, number 2, a 6'2", 180-pound senior, Colton Doney. At wideout, number 1, a 6'3", 180-pound senior, Bridger Nesbitt. At wide receiver, number 9, a 6'3", 170-pound junior, Branson Keel. At wideout, number 29, a 6'2", 170-pound sophomore, Caden Nelson. At running back, number 26, a 5'9", 180-pound sophomore, Uriah Glenn. And at quarterback, number 6, a 6', 175-pound senior, Colton Hartford. Assistant coaches for the Raiders, Scott Sebo, Tony Keene, Paul Ferdinand, John Crossway, James Vollmer, Lance Schroeder, Tyler Olson, Michael Scott, Tim Norman, Brandon Peterson, Zach Acorn, and Cody Benny. Head coach of the Raiders, Steve Swinson. Now let's meet the cheerleaders for our Brandon Valley Lynx. Grace Hanson, Bailey Harvey, Helena Hendrick, Ashley Lohr, Madison Notes, Brittany Ryder, Lauren Ruhlman, and Emily Wint. Cheer coach, Katie Lane. Now let's meet the defensive starters for your Brandon Valley Lynx. At defensive tackle, number 79, a 6'1", 300-pound senior, Isaac Rodriguez. And one defensive end, number 45, a 6'2", 235-pound senior, Braden Didball. At the other defensive end, number 44, a 6'2", 235-pound junior, Parker Reed. At nose tackle, number 70, a 6'4", 260-pound senior, Sam Limke. At linebacker, number 54, a 6', 180-pound senior, Elijah Klein. At the other linebacker, number 33, a 6', 175-pound sophomore, Damian Chunky. And one cornerback, number 26, a 5'7", 165-pound junior, Mark Mutchkanaus. At the other cornerback, number 11, a 6'2", 170-pound junior, Jackson Hilton. At free safety, number 27, a 5'11", 175-pound junior, Joe Kovac. At safety, number 2, a 6'3", 195-pound senior, Jesse Steffel. And at safety, number 32, a 5'10", 175-pound junior, Joey Nemec. Assistant coaches for the Lynx, Ken Anderson, Jason Bisbee, Dylan Breest, Matt Christensen, Joe Garagcha, Justin Mashlin, Matt Mueller, Tim Silliotson, Mike Zerr, volunteer assistants, Jeremy Risty, Darian Smith, and Mark Statham. Head coach for the Lynx, Chad Garrow. Your officials for tonight's game, referee is Jim Ricketts Jr., the umpire is Todd Landsman, head linesman Scott Jansen, line judge John Garrow, and the back judge is Ryan Sage. These officials are licensed by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and have been assigned this contest by the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of our colors are being performed tonight by the Color Guard members of the Brandon VFW Post 4726, Brandon American Legion Post 318, the Valley Springs American Legion Post 131. The privilege of this game is made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. God bless our veterans and active military and all they do for our nation and local communities. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Proper etiquette is to remove all headwear, face the flag, and put your hand over your heart. Active duty military personnel or veterans not in uniform may salute the flag. Playing our national anthem will be the Brandon Valley Trumpet Line under the direction of Emily Hensley. Please sing loud and proud, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you.
Lynx and Raiders, game 2, and the first one going the Lynx way. They'll look to make it stay that way. Ken, we got to thank our sponsors.
We do. Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes, Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, Harry Buck with Hegg Realtors, Alliance Communications, the First National Bank of Brandon, the Pizza Ranch, the Brandon Community Foundation, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, the Brandon Valley Athletics Boosters Club, and Sioux Valley Energy. Thank you all.
Thank you. So we're just getting ready here for the coin toss, and then we'll be kicking off here in just a few moments. Ken, the defense has been a little bit slippery here at home. What do you think it's going to take for the Lynx to hold off on the big arm of Colton Hartford?
Well, here's the thing. You got to contain him. He's going to want to get out of the pocket. Remember, what they do offensively, they spread you out. They don't run the ball a lot. The running game comes from the quarterback position. And so it's all about containing him, making sure that he stays in the pocket and becomes a pocket passing quarterback instead of getting on, outside the hashes. That's what I always say. Don't let that quarterback get outside the hashes because then things break down. You got to be able to defend his legs with his arm. Make it just defend his arm. I'm not saying he can't throw the ball, but if you make him one-dimensional, the game becomes way, way easier for the defense of the Lynx. Offensively, for the Lynx, keep on running the ball. Keep true to what you are. Okay, I know there's not a lot of wind out there tonight. It's a nice night. If you want to throw the ball, it's a beautiful night. But you know, and I know, and the Lynx family out there that are listening to us and people in the stands and everywhere know that we have two really, really good running backs to give the ball to, and the offensive line's tremendous. Now, Thomas Skolton is a big-time quarterback in big-time situations.
Right.
Okay? And we knew that. We saw that in the playoffs last year. Some of the games going to have to hand in these playoffs. You got to go 3-0 if you want to win the championship this year.
Yep.
It's a new season. Everybody's 0-0.
Yep.
There's no more seeding, okay? They are what they are, okay? So if you want to be a big-time team and repeat as champions of 11 AAA, those facets of the offense, and to be honest with you, one of the keys of the game that we talk about, Kyle, every week is winning the line of scrimmage. Offensive line, defensive line, win the line of scrimmage, you're going to win football games.
Well said. Those are Ken's keys to the game. As Colton Hartford, quarterback, defensive back, and kicker for Rapid City Stevens, he's a jack of all trades, will kick off here as the Lynx are getting the ball first because Rapid City Stevens deferred. Don't worry, this is not a dream. You didn't lose a week. You're looking at these same two teams, Rapid City Stevens against Brandon Valley for the second straight week. This time, win, you're in. Lose, you are done. And away we go, and this is going to be a very short kick, and it's going to go out of bounds. So the Lynx are going to start with very, very good field position, not a good kick by Colton Hartford.
So the other key, in what we've talked about before, besides winning the line of scrimmage, Kyle, is the offense for the Lynx is coming on the field. They're going to get some extra yards like you talked about, but winning the turnover battle too. The turnover battle, the microphone works tonight, and that's
so
a
far
great
so
thing.
good. So far so good.
Win the turnover battle, and we already talked about the mental part of the game, and that's the coaching staff putting the mental part of the game into these kids, and that's where they are today.
Tate Johnson in the backfield. That's Vegans, the tight end, with Wickersham, the fullback. First down for the Lynx, and they're going to give it to their stud running back, and he is going to get bottled up at the line of scrimmage.
Tate Johnson on the carry. Tackle made by
Now they're going to give him maybe a couple of yards, maybe one.
Second down and 8.
So my guess is defensively, what Stevens is going to do, this Raider defense, is they're going to stack the box. If you have to take, we talked about pick your poison kind of about Thomas Skolton and then our running backs, but first you have to stop our run. That's the key to any defense against our team.
They're going to go play action here, dump it out to the right side. Pass is caught by Ciliuson. This will be a decent gain of about 6 yards, so that'll bring up a third and very short. It'll be 3rd and 1, and they're going to hurry it up here.
7-yard gain, be a 3rd down and 1.
Bunch formation. They're going to pitch it, and they're going to get the first down as Johnson moves the chains, gets to the 50, and that's one of those plays that you just can't stop. Nobody's really been able to stop that pitch on 3rd down and that hurry-up offense.
What I like, they ran it to our hash. And a lot of people don't see that. They ran it to our hash, so they couldn't sub. They couldn't put a sub package in. We could. We brought a lot of tight ends in.
Right.
They couldn't bring a lot of defensive linemen in, so it worked in our favor going hurry-up.
First down from the 49. Here is Johnson again. This time he's got some space. And a big hit on the sideline with Johnson taking on Branson Keel. But it'll be a gain of 8 yards. And, boy, those are two powerful young men. Just playing some hardcore football.
That was a big hit, and we know Tate Johnson can deliver it too. He's small in stature, but he can deliver a hit.
Wickersham back there again. Hilton at the bottom of your screen. And they got 2 tight ends in the game. Johnson looking for a hole, finds it. Pushes forward. Tackled by a group, including Jacob DeSmit for the Raiders. And the Lynx are methodically moving here. This is exactly what you want in a colder game, colder type atmosphere.
And folks, watch Stevens' defense as they're going to try to adjust to this run because it's a heavy package. Kyle talked about with 2 tight ends as they're going to go in motion to the right. You have a fullback also.
One of them being Vegans and Peyton Carroll, who's getting a lot more playing time. This one's caught by Jackson Hilton. He slips away, bringing the moves to the 20. Nobody can take Jackson Hilton down. He's down to the 15-yard line. That guy can make plays, whether it's on the court or the field.
He is slippery, and he's just got a natural sense to the game. And you talked about on the basketball court too, same thing. But it's an athlete, and he's a hard worker. You can just tell. Okay, even though you're not on the coaching staff, you can just tell he's a really hard worker.
Johnson in the backfield again, and they're going to give it to him again. Straight up the gut. He fights for every yard. He got an extra 2 yards just keeping those legs churning. Nice run, gain of about 4 yards.
Now, folks, if you can see on your screen as you watch our offensive line and our tight ends go to the line of scrimmage, and pretend you're the running back here, and look at that line that you get to run behind. That is a luxury.
Lynx have always had big corn-fed farm boys being able to push the pile, and having good running backs helps too. Here's Johnson again, and he's going to be stopped right around the 9-yard line. Short gain on that one. That'll bring up a big 3rd and 3.
One of the unsung heroes we'll talk about tonight is our fullback in Wickersham, but also Vegans. They're key in the run game, not the offensive line. They add to that offensive line. You look at Vegans right there. His block was, it should have been maybe negative yards to the line of scrimmage, but that block gained another 2 yards.
3rd down and 3. Johnson. He's going to be close, but I think he's going to be short.
Interesting call. What we're going to have from Coach Garrow is
Hilton and Carroll are already coming in, so they're going to go for it here.
Loss of 1 yard on that play. That will bring up a.
I don't think you get too pretty here. I think you keep on running the ball. Your offensive line, you go to the offensive line and you say, hey, let's go get 2 yards. Or they're going to say 1.
It's a long one. Play fake. Skolton throws. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. It's Jackson Hilton. Boy, he tiptoed right into the end zone. Got 1 foot in bounds. Some Rapid City Stevens players can't believe it, but that was a gutsy call on 4th down.
It was. You're going to use, we know Thomas Skolton, you know that he has the legs. You know that bootleg's going to work because they're going to try to suck up to that running game. But what a throw to put it outside of the pylon, and Jackson Hilton just going and getting the ball.
And he knows, like you said, he's very smart. Oh, they had a fake going, but now we've got a flag. So that's the Lynx are going to be pushed back. It's either going to be a false start or – yep. So a false start penalty. Jackson Hilton is just, like you said, he's a hard worker, but he's so smart, and he always knows where he is, or whether, like we said, it's on the court or on the field. He knew exactly how much room he had right near that end zone and the sideline. So great play by him.
And that was a pretty ball by Thomas Skolton, as nobody else was going to catch it but Jackson. And that's what you need to do there.
Sorensen. He's got it. And the Lynx take a 7-0 lead with 7:22 to go in the first quarter. Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes is the builder and developer of the lake at Aspen Harbor in the heart of Brandon. Coming soon will be great building lots at the new Twin River Crossing development. Give Justin a call for details at 605-553-5311. Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, is the person to talk to for all your personal and business insurance needs. Bill is located at 312 South Split Rock Boulevard, or give him a call at 605-582-4343. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Give Harry Buchan with the Hegg Realtors a call at 605-366-0221, or go to harrybuck.com for any and all of your real estate needs. Harry and the team at Hegg love turning dreams into addresses. Just remember the 3 rules of real estate: location, location, Harry Buck.
So Sorensen about to kick it off here. Lynx are about to give the ball to Colton Hartford for the first time, who had a good arm last week. threw a few interceptions. Some of them not his fault, but he's got a big arm, and he can move in the pocket, and the Lynx had trouble with him last week. 7-0 Brandon Valley. And this one is going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, surprising that none of those players went and got the ball, but they're going to take it at about the 20. I believe they move it out to the 25.
I think in high school it's 20.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Alliance Communications is the leading internet, cable, and phone provider in the Brandon area. Alliance customers have 100% fiber to the home, and that puts them light years ahead of most homes throughout the country. Go Lynx.
Well, another cold night, so any of you that are watching at home, just know it's these sponsors that let us broadcast it for you. And if you're just getting home from work, snuggle up and watch some playoff football. First down for Hartford. They're going to go play fake here, and they're going to go deep on the first play of the game. It's tipped and it's intercepted. Munchkanaus tipped it. Kolbeck's got it to the 30. He's inside the 20. He's going to try to reverse fields. Can he get in? Yes, he can. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. A splash defensive play gives the Lynx an early 13-0 lead.
They go for the big shot. They want to open up right away. It didn't fool our defense at all as our safety stayed high, and they were the benefit of, like you said, the tip ball, and that's a touchdown.
That's exactly what the Lynx need after the scare of last week. To get a touchdown via special teams or defense, especially this early, can really knock the wind out of Rapid City Stevens' sails. Silius into hold. Extra point is good.
At the First National Bank, their student checking account is perfect for those 25 and younger. It provides convenient access to tools like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. They are proud supporters of all things Brandon, like the new baseball complex, the First National Bank Field at Aspen Park. The Pizza Ranch, they are proud supporters of Brandon Valley activities and offer the finest pizza in town. Bring the family to their buffet before the game or order their delicious roasted chicken or pizza after the game. Give them a call at 582-6322 and they will deliver to your doorstep, tailgater, or wherever you are in town. The Brandon Community Foundation, they are a permanent charitable endowment that supports activities that improve the quality of life for all ages in Brandon and in Valley Springs. For more information, go to their website at brandoncf.org.
Jory Sorensen to kick off, by the way. The Brandon Community Foundation's 8th annual Oak and Wine fundraiser is tomorrow from 7 till 9. It's at the Holiday Inn Express in Brandon. So if you want to get tickets to that tonight, you better give Aaron Dahl a call at 605-553-3925. And on the return here, a nice-looking return. And right down the middle of the field goes Uriah Glenn. And Glenn is going to score for Rapid City Stevens. So the Lynx get a defensive touchdown. And on the very next play, a special teams touchdown puts Stevens right back in it.
I always talk about winning the turnover battle, and when you score on special teams, touchdowns on special teams, I consider it a turnover.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that special teams aren't important because they're super important. You just saw that on your screen. But it's now 1-1 in the turnover battle because them are big splash plays, and you do not want to give any confidence to that other sideline.
Whitesell's extra point is good, and it is 14-7.
The Brandon Valley Journal, they are your local news source covering all 11 Brandon Valley sports every week with stories and photos. You can get all the news in print or online. So if you haven't already subscribed, do it today by calling 605-582-9999. Sign up for Taco John's Rewards app, the Rewards app on your phone for lots of deals and surprises. They have new and exciting products to choose from, and it's always made fresh just for you. The good folks at Taco John's want to thank you for your business, and go Lynx.
And by the way, we do have a final. Roosevelt did beat. Who were they playing? Watertown.
Watertown.
So they defeated Watertown 49-14. No surprise.
So that's the top of the bracket. That doesn't make any difference in the bottom of the bracket. Now, here's the scenario that could happen tonight. The Lynx win. Washington upsets. Washington's the number 7 seed, like we talked about in the pregame. Number 2 is Lincoln. Washington upsets them. We're back to having a home playoff game next week here.
It's fun to think about.
That scenario could happen. As I'm getting a lot of head shaking, no, it won't happen, but maybe. We can only.
And we can only hope. Here's
Right.
Joe Colbeck on the return, and he's got a good-looking return out across the 30. Leaders we can depend on. Question: when you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in South Dakota, who do you meet? Answer: men and women who played high school. Answer: men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question: so where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer: high school sports. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Good job.
Reading's hard, man. On first down, like that ball might have been partially tipped, but it is caught by Siliuson. That'll be a gain of about 5 yards on that one. So,
Boy, our wide receivers are coming out to play tonight, aren't they? Well, and like we talked about the last drive, they're going to try to stop our run no matter what. They know that's the key to our offense, and that passing game might have to open up tonight, and our wide receivers are doing a heck of a job.
second down and 5. Here's Jesse Steffel for the first time today. And Steffel looked like he was going to get away. He cannot. Nice open field tackle by Joe Weber. But it is enough for a first down. They're going to give it to him. Hard running by Jesse Steffel.
So 14-7 ball game here, like we talked about, number 7 Washington at Lincoln, which is at Howard Wood Field also, the number 2 seed. And that's on the bottom bracket. If you go to the South Dakota High School Association's website, you'll be able to pull that up.
Here's Steffel again. And Steffel fights and spins away. He's down to about the 47. So that'll be a gain of 3 or 4. That'll bring up second and a long 7. And here comes Jackson Hilton, Peyton Carroll coming into the game, and Johnson back into the game.
So they give Johnson a little breather with Steffel, and that's good. We gotta have that two-headed monster back there to carry us through this 3-0 season that we need to go.
7 carries, 29 yards for Johnson, long of 8. He's been methodical. He'll try to do the same thing here. He cuts, gets across midfield, and another big third down coming up, big 3rd and 2.
They're going to go with the hurry-up again. They like to, the Lynx offense, they like to do this when it's 3rd and short.
Third down.
Same thing. They pitch it, and Johnson pushes away. Then he gets by a tackler. Thankfully, a touchdown-saving tackle by Branson Keel. But, boy, that is some powerful running there.
It is. Man, it's just amazing watching him on the football field. And we've been amazed. We talked about it up here multiple times, and we have through the years, Kyle, about what a luxury we have had in the backfield for years, and Braden Peterson, Trevor Crow, and you can just keep on going. And it's just
Nate Mahomes.
Yeah,
if you want to go back that far, you certainly can.
It's just been amazing.
First down from the 41. Here's Tate. And he pushes forward. Nice, clean hole for him. Joey Weber on the tackle. That thing parted like the Red Sea.
It was. Then that offensive line you talked about, we've always had big offensive linemen, and it's a Lynx moving company. You know, they really open up big holes for these running backs, and I'm sure these running backs truly appreciate it because they're not getting hit. Usually about 3 to 4 yards down the field, maybe 5, and that's when they're getting their first hit. And that's what you want as a running back.
Second down and 3. That's Jackson Hilton at the bottom of your screen. They're going to play fake it here. He's looking for him, and he just has to throw this one away. Good choice. He was getting pressured. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. Lynx, I think, again, are in 4-down territory as Johnson's going to come back into the game, and so are Cilliuson and McCann.
And so now your playbook opens up a little bit. It's third and manageable, 3 yards. You know, we'll see if the play action comes from the opposite side because we've been rolling a lot to the right. Maybe bringing that tight end out into the flats here, making those linebackers cover.
On 3rd and 3, pass is caught by Vegans, and I think he dove that ball ahead. He pushed the ball forward, and I think that's going to be a first down.
It's going to be close. They're going to say 4th. They're going to move them.
Yep, they're moving them. So they had it at 4th down. Now they switched it. That was a really smart play by Vegans to hold that ball out.
It was, and it was a smart call by the offensive staff. Is that make those linebackers cover. You know, if you want to really show that you're a really good defense, your linebackers have to cover. And we know Vegans and that tight end from the tight end position has been great all year.
This has been already about a 3 or 4 minute drive. It's a good-looking drive so far. Wickersham becomes the tight end. Vegans is now in the backfield with Johnson, and they give it to him. He pushes forward, and Billy Jones, along with a couple of other Rapid City Stevens Raiders, bring him down, gain of 5.
And you see again, I say it multiple times every week, is that Vegans is just a huge part. You see him get that kick out of that defensive end, and that's coming from the opposite. He's lined up in the opposite of that formation, okay, where the ball's running, and he comes and kicks out the opposite defensive end. That's just a good play by that tight end.
Very impressive. Almost like a guard pulling, but he's in the fullback position. Wickersham's back in there now, and there's Jesse Steffel. They're going to run it with Steffel. And Steffel's going to get the first down and refuse to go down. And finally, Joe Weber pushes him out. Nice run, Jesse Steffel.
This is the time of the year. It seems like it clicks all the time. Last year, you know, it's almost like a mirror from last year. Those two running backs just really carried this team, and Thomas Skolton, and I understand Althoff at wide receiver had a tremendous year and a tremendous playoff run, but Thomas Skolton played big, and Thomas has played big already starting in this first playoff game in 2019.
Lynx just went over 100 rushing yards as a team, 14 carries, 103 yards total. Pass to the left side is dropped by Cilliuson. He can't believe it. And he would have been close to a first down. Weber on the coverage. Brings up 2nd and 10.
And so as a Lynx offense, as we bury this first quarter down with 1:28 to go, 1-score game, but so far that defense hasn't had an answer for the Lynx offense. Let's see what kind of play formation, and they're going to go in the shotgun here. I do like the pistol formation with Thomas.
As do I. 2nd down. Here is Tate Johnson getting the carry, and he's going to try and fight for a few more yards. Pays off for him, but this is going to bring up a 3rd and right around 7. So we'll see what Coach Garrow and the rest of the offensive staff dial up here as Hilton returns to the game, and so does Peyton Carroll.
And one other key to the offensive side of the ball is conversion on 3rd down. And right now we're converting at a high rate. This is the next biggest 3rd down that we have had all game. And so you need to convert. You need to make it manageable to get points on the board.
3rd down and 7. Now they're going to give it to Johnson up the gut, and it's going to turn out to be a good decision because he's going to dive for the end zone, and he gets in. He just drags somebody 5 yards. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx.
Big call, as I would have guessed, and that other sideline tried to guess against a pass. They ran the ball. They were looking for that play action. That holds those linebackers, and all of a sudden here comes the run, and Tate Johnson right up the middle. Big play by that offense.
Well, the Lynx got off to a sluggish start last week. There's been no such thing as that this week. Extra point. Ooh, it's good.
No matter how it looks, as long as it goes through, it's good. Right, Dan Bailey?
How about him, huh?
Yeah.
Special teams player of the week, I think. I don't know if we won it for the month, but then Kirk Cousins as well. Hey,
Well,
offensive player
you
of the
get
month.
you get a really good punter, that can hold. That changes the whole aspect.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the Vikings here, which we probably shouldn't
Britton
be. But
Colquitt.
yeah, and that changes the whole scheme of how your kicking game goes. You need a good holder.
And if you're on Twitter, I think he's joking, but they said that Dan Bailey won special teams player of the week or the month or whatever, and he basically just goes, "You're welcome."
Right. The Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, they are proud sponsor of Lynx TV. A strong local business community is vital for the positive growth of the Brandon Valley area. Remember, when you shop in Brandon, you support all things local. Go Lynx. The Brandon Valley Athletics Boosters Club, they are hardworking, dedicated supporters of all Brandon Valley athletic programs, including Lynx TV.
Thank you. Jory Sorensen, 21-7 Lynx. And they're going to go for another return here. And this time the Lynx, and they fumbled the football, and the Lynx got it.
Fumble on the play.
A fumble. It is recovered by Ethan McManus, and the Lynx, just like that, are in the red zone.
And that fumble recovery was what the doctor ordered for special teams. Now you're even on special teams. You got the turnover on special teams, and that's just a big play. Whoever stripped it, we don't know because we didn't see. We're not inside that pile, and we don't have the access to replays or anything like that. But it had to been stripped because he was held up. The runner was held up a little bit, and that's just stripping the ball. That's just a good coverage by the Lynx special teams kickoff team.
And Rapid City Stevens is going to take a timeout. Sioux Valley Energy is the electric supplier for much of the Brandon Valley area and a strong supporter of our community, including Lynx TV. They offer great service at reasonable rates. Go Lynx.
In the first period with 5 minutes left, Sioux Falls of Gorman 0, Harrisburg 6.
So Harrisburg up 6-0 early in their contest with whoever they're playing. O'Gorman. Thank you.
So it's number 4 O'Gorman, and we're talking about seeds, number 5 Harrisburg.
Mm-hmm.
So those, when you have a 4 and 5 matchup, they're pretty even.
Yeah.
I mean, usually it might go to the home team, and like I said, Harrisburg, they're kind of faltering going into the playoffs, but you just never know. A few changes in the week leading up to the playoffs can make a world of difference. Well, for the Lynx right now, this possession is going to make a world of difference because you can go up by 3 scores, and that's going to be big. And we're just going into the second quarter.
Speaking of just going into the second quarter, the Lynx have ran 23 plays and have racked up 163 yards of total offense. Rapid City Stevens has 1 play total on offense and 2 turnovers. To the end zone, Carroll, he's got it. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. Peyton Carroll's first at home. Not sure if it's the first of the year, but he gets into the end zone, and the Lynx offense is explosive so far in this game.
Well, Thomas could have picked whatever he wanted as Jackson Hilton was running a skinny post, they call it, in the receiver tree, route tree, and he was wide open in the middle of the field, and he found his receiver and touchdown. That's 2 touchdown passes for Thomas already this evening, and we have 31 seconds to go in the first quarter.
6 of 8, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns for Skolton. Extra point is good. 28 points already here in this first quarter. But like we said, Rapid City Stevens, 1 play of total offense, and they have 2 turnovers. That drive 5.5 hours, and you find yourself down 28-7 with 1 offensive play in the first quarter. That is rough.
And nothing, intended to what we're about to say. But here's the thing: is that the Lynx are going to go for it. I mean, they are going to push the pedal down and go. This is the playoffs. There's no hold barred. It's just the way it is. And you are going to, and I like how aggressive that offensive staff is tonight.
Yeah.
They're super, super aggressive, and that's what you need to be in the playoffs, is you can't hold anything back. The whole playbook is wide open.
Yeah.
We talked about last week, maybe they were holding a little bit back.
Maybe. Yeah.
Offensively.
Because they knew they might have to play him.
The playbook.
Yeah.
And now that baby's wide open.
Yeah. And I think maybe it was Jimmy Johnson who said it. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm all about sportsmanship. This is high school football. But if you don't like what they're doing, stop them.
Right.
If you don't like that we're still throwing the football, then stop us. On the return is Keel. And another nice-looking return for Rapid City Stevens. And if you could, comment about one thing that the Lynx are struggling in right now, it's kick return coverage.
It is. We forced a turnover, though. That's big. Gave up a touchdown. That's big. And the yardage have been big chunks of yards you talked about. But what I like is we probably already forgot about, folks, with 24 seconds to go in the first quarter, that interception for a touchdown. Remember, the defense has already scored in this football game, too.
Yep. Been so many of them in this first quarter. It's hard to keep track of them all. So Hartford, first down. He's 0 of 1 with an interception. They're going to throw, and now he's going to take off and run with it. And the ref just got laid out. Oof. To the 41-yard line. So a gain of about 6. The referee was taken down at about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, and the one thing you never want to see that is that the umpire, that's what they're called right there.
Yeah.
You never want to see this because they're right in the heat of the battle. They don't move a lot from the they're between the safeties in the defense and the linebackers. And there's a lot going on in there, and sometimes this happens, and that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, and it looked like he might have hit his head too, which is always scary to see. At least as an umpire, you're back there with a mask and a chest protector and stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, these guys are in a shirt and
hats
pants.
Hats off to them. Hats off to them because they come out on these Thursday evenings and they're working. They do a lot of things that are good on the football field, and hey, hats off to them. And these type of things are never good to see.
No.
It's because they don't have a lot of protection like you talked about. These players have helmets on. There's nothing protecting, and there's a good limp there.
Yeah. Well, the way these guys sacrifice their time, a thankless job, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, soccer, whatever, it's so thankless, and where they're losing people is the thing. Not to injury, I mean, but people just don't want to do it anymore. Because of the harassment that they face. I certainly hear it. I've walked by people today coming to the game that have yelled at me.
And so now the reffing crew is one guy down.
Yeah.
And so now it becomes even more of a challenge for that reffing crew to get what we call the calls right.
So only 2 referees on the actual field. Here is the handoff and wrapped up in the backfield. Nice defensive play. I think that was Lemke on the bottom of the pile there.
Sam Lemke, number 7 on the stop.
And Lemke's going to come out of the game here, as are the rest of the players, because that is the end of our first quarter with the Lynx leading 28-7. And just a textbook, picture-perfect first quarter that was.
And we'll try to get you as the Washington-Lincoln game, which is the next big game that we kind of have to focus on. I know we gave you the score of the O'Gorman-Harrisburg game, but focusing on that game and seeing what that score is playing out tonight. We should give you some scores of those coming up as we hear it from the PA announcer, and they've always been really good at that, haven't they? Giving us scores.
Oh,
of other games. It's been great.
Very much so. And maybe I'll try to sneak a peek at Argus Leader Sports every once in a while and see what they have to say. But it's all smiles here. Lynx leading 28-7.
And you could say that they have to go into a one-dimensional offense, but they're already really one-dimensional.
Yes, they are.
The Raiders is that they love to throw the ball. They spread you out.
3rd down and 4. Hartford from the gun. He will throw. One of the wide receivers fell down. Pressure's coming, and down he goes. He was stuck by Parker Reed.
Hartford on the carry.
Parker Reed doing what he does best, being a beast.
At that defensive end position, he really came on last year. He was, I believe, a sophomore last year. He's a junior this year.
Yep.
And he really played a vital role in the playoffs and then in that championship game last year. And he's coming up big already in this playoffs.
Formation number 6, Colton Hartford.
Joel Kolbeck back to receive this punt. And it's a wobbler. And Kolbeck's just going to leave it. And the Lynx will take over, again with good field position at the 41-yard line.
So a 3-score game, beginning of the second quarter. Lynx are going to have really, really good field position as it's 28-7 in this ball game. Playoff football just has a different feel to it. I mean, we kind of try to ramp up our game a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys feel it at home? I mean,
we're ready to
we're trying
go.
to really ramp this up here.
We're fired up. I was fired up all day for this, man.
So was I. I was really, really patiently waiting for this game.
Tate Johnson spins away and stays on his feet, stiff arms the man. He just gave Bridger Nesbitt the business down the sideline across the 40. Another nice run for Tate Johnson.
And one thing about that defense now, you talked about how they haven't been on the field very much, and we'll look at the time of possession here. But, man, that defense for the Raiders has to be wearing out. And and everybody's like, whoa, wearing out? Well, they've been on the field a lot. And it's the beginning of the second quarter.
25 plays already ran by this Lynx offense. We just started the second quarter. Here is Johnson this time, and a big hit. He was stuck by Jesus Jones. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 9, gain of just 1.
And 69 Jones. Short gain on that play.
I don't know if you can see it way at the bottom of your screen, but the referee that was injured is being taken on a cart. He was walking a little less gingerly, so we hope all is good for him. Wish him the best. Hopefully just a strain or a sprain of some sort. Not sure if we'll hear about the status of him. Not sure he'll return. Ciliuson hangs on to this one. It is caught to the 35, down to around the 32-yard line. So that'll bring up about a 3rd and 3. And again, we'll see what the Lynx do. And again, they're in 4-down territory.
So far in the first half, Lynx have ran 26 plays, 27 now, for 208 yards, with Rapid City Stevens at 4 plays on offense for -6.
It's not ideal. Johnson on 3rd down, and I think he's going to be just short. He'll be about a half a yard short.
It'll be interesting. I believe they're going to go, and you got to continue to be aggressive here. Surprising they're not going up to the hurry up here like they like to do on 3rd and short. It's 4th and short, and they are. They're going hurry up.
Now they're going. They're going to throw it. Ciliuson's wide open. Did he overthrow him? He did not. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. A picture-perfect throw from Tommy. They have been running that pitch play over and over and over again. And finally, they bring out the big guns. They fake it, and Tommy's got 2 wide receivers dancing into the end zone.
Well, here's the thing. That was a great play action. And what I mean by play action there is a fake pitch. Tommy sold it big time. And that brought all those linebackers up. They were flowing. The safety even came up. You saw the wide receivers wide open. 3 touchdowns now for Thomas Skolton.
Oof.
Big night so far for him in the first half.
8 of 10 for 99 yards for him. The Lynx have racked up 240 yards of total offense. And, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ken.
No, and one thing also is that the winner of the other game, and I'm assuming that the Lynx win, okay, the winner of that other game in the bottom of the bracket, well, they're going to watch film, okay?
Yeah.
And they're going to have to watch that play action, because if that play action is running like this, good luck. Good luck.
No doubt. Jory Sorensen to kick off here. They probably ran that pitch play 20 times that we've seen, and every single time it's been.
But it looked beautiful there.
It did. It did.
I mean, you could just – I thought the pitch was coming.
And now you got to respect it.
Right.
So a little bit of desperation mode time for
Sorensen to kick off for Brandon Valley.
Rapid City Stevens, who find themselves, thankfully, getting a special teams touchdown. And it's only a 4-touchdown game, as this one goes into the end zone for a touchback. Purpose, love for the game, and helping others. Why do teenagers play high school sports? My reason why is a sense of purpose. My reason why is to inspire others. One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of all high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship. So, why do they play? My reason why is friendship. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy. This message is presented by the NFHS and the South Dakota High School Activities Association. On first down, pass is caught. And a nice gain on first down. Branson Keel with the catch.
And so far in this game, both offensively and defensively, the line of scrimmage has just been dominated. I shouldn't say dominated on both sides of the ball by the Lynx. And I saw Coach Garrow come over to the offensive line and really, really congratulate them, because they're playing a heck of a ball game right now, that offensive line. The Raiders' defensive line is pretty big. We've seen last year.
Going to take off and run, and he's not going to get far. Isaiah Campbell makes the tackle. Excuse me, that's not Isaiah Campbell anymore. That is Damian Chunky. My mind's still in last year, apparently. Jeez.
Whew.
Sorry about that.
It was a good run, though.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, I'd go back and do it again. Heck, we might do it again this year.
Right.
I remember having a bunch of high school alumni at my house watching that game. We just had so much fun. And they don't know the players. Other than watching the stream every once in a while. So they were watching their school, and they were pumped up for it, man. And that was a great game.
It was.
Third down. Here goes Hartford again. He slips through one tackle, gets the first down, spins away from another, fighting his way forward.
That's one thing in the pregame we talked about from their offense. Their quarterback has some wheels. You don't want him to break the pocket, because he can do just that. What he did on that last play is gain big yards, and so you have to contain him. He's really their weapon on offense, with Norman being out in this ball game.
So from the 40-yard line, Rapid City Stevens back into plus yardage. So they got that going for them, which is nice. Bridger Nesbitt makes the catch. Gain of around 7 yards there.
Gain of 6 yards on that play. Second down.
Going to bring up a second and right around 3. And Stevens desperate to get points on the board here, as we're midway through the second quarter. And that one is intercepted. It is picked off. And I believe it was Hunter Marceau, number 7. He gets the interception, and the Lynx turn over Stevens again.
Another big play by that secondary is you keep on going to the well and you keep on throwing the ball. That secondary is going to get interceptions. It's just the way it is. Not every throw is going to be on the money. And without a running game over there, it's going to be hard all night for that Raiders offense. It just is. The Lynx defense is playing at a high level.
First down from the 49. 2 tight end set with Carroll and Vegans. They're going to pound the rock here. It's Jesse Steffel. And he's thrown down at the 40-yard line.
On the carry, number 2, Jesse Steffel.
But it's going to
Bill
move the
Jones.
chains. Another first down.
Number 10 for the Raiders.
And we look at the efficiency. You would expect that Thomas Skolton has big yards, okay? But he only has 99 yards in the first half. He's 8 for 10, but 3 of those 8 passes were touchdowns. That's efficient.
Here is Jesse again. And Steffel gets across the 35. Gain of about 6 yards. Siliuson and McCann will come back in here. So will Johnson. Got a Lynx down on the field.
69, Jesus Jones.
And it is
6-yard gain, 2nd down and 4.
that's Zach Rogo limping off the field.
You never want to see that. He's a real key cog to that offensive line. And it's probably an ankle.
Still standing up on the sidelines. McCann is out wide at the top of your screen. That's Siliuson in the slot. They're going to throw it. Now Tommy's going to run with it. And he's not going to get very far.
On the carry, number 10, Thomas Skolton.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and very short.
One thing, if the coaching staff may be looking at the film after the ball game, which they do, and on coming up this week, you know, if Thomas breaks that pocket, goes to the left, Vegans is wide open down the middle of the field. Keep your head up and look for the pass as you're running.
Flag on the play. They pitch it to Johnson, but I think this one is going to be coming back.
Johnson on the carry.
So it's a first down for now.
Penalty flag
I think they're going to get McCann for holding, possibly, but we will check it. Yep, this is going to be a holding penalty, so that'll move the Lynx back. And that'll make it a 3rd and 11. Now it's going to be even longer than that. It's going to be it's a spot foul, so and it was done in the backfield, so it is going to be 3rd and around 13.
And so that's going to be the first penalty on your Lynx, I believe. No, 2nd for 29 yards now. Rapid City Stevens with 1 penalty for 7 yards.
3rd and 13. Play fake. Hilton's open, and he's got it. And it's a touchdown for the Brandon Valley Lynx. Jackson Hilton, 2nd of the game. Tommy Skolton is on fire.
He might, I don't know what records are on this field or in the state, but that was a pretty pass.
Beautiful.
Jackson Hilton did not have to break any stride. And that's what you want as a wide receiver. He put it right in the basket. And there it was, touchdown, 41-7 already in the first half.
I think somebody
5:06 to go.
Wow. I think somebody made Tommy angry, and you don't want to make Tommy angry. But like you said, it's not that it's not that Tommy even, you know, it's not like they're making these unbelievable diving plays. These are right on the money. Extra point is good. And the Lynx have a 42-7 lead. We're barely past the midway point of the second quarter. Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes is the builder and developer of the lake at Aspen Harbor in the heart of Brandon. Coming soon will be great building lots at the new Twin River Crossing development. Give Justin a call, 605-553-5311.
Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, is the person to talk to for all your personal and business insurance needs. Bill is located at 312 South Split Rock Boulevard, or give him a call at 605-582-4343. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The Harry Buck, give Harry Buck with Hegg Realtors a call at 605-366-0221, or go to harrybuck.com for any and all of your real estate needs. Harry and the team at Hegg love turning dreams into addresses. Just remember the 3 rules of real estate: location, Harry Buck.
So Jory Sorensen, he's been busy tonight with extra points and kickoffs. Not so much in the punting situations, as this is a line drive kick. Not handled very well by Keel, and they're going to be backed up inside the 20-yard line. Lines Communication is the leading internet cable phone provider in the Brandon Valley area. Alliance customers have 100% fiber to the home, and that puts them light years ahead of most homes throughout the county. Go Lynx.
At First National Bank, their student checking account is perfect for those 25 and younger. It provides convenient access like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. They are proud supporters of all things Brandon, like the new baseball complex, the First National Bank Field at Aspen Park.
So here comes Colton Hartford, first down from the 18-yard line. They're going to hand it off here. And Uriah Glenn is not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Loss of 2.
So 2 interceptions by the defense, 1 for a touchdown, winning the turnover battle, giving up 21 yards so far, only 9 plays of offense for Rapid City Stevens. Now 10 plays for 20 yards, but 34 for the Lynx offense.
20 total yards of offense for the Raiders. It has been a rough go. Hartford. It's the only thing that they've really been able to do somewhat effectively today, no offense to them, is being able to have Hartford run, but not that time because he lost a couple yards on the play.
Well, one thing here, as that sideline over on the Raiders sideline over there, is that they have to try to at least attempt to run the ball here, at some point in this game, because what it does, that running it to the outside with that quarterback, he went out of bounds, stops the clock. You're probably going to give the Lynx another possession on offense, and that's dangerous because right now it's a 42-7 ball game in the first half.
3rd down and 12. Hartford throws it. Good throw, and it's caught for a first down. Pass was completed to number 31. We don't have a name for number 31. And it's Alex Trunkelman. So we did have some uniform switch-ups before the game, and I wasn't able to really receive them, but that's okay. So first down for the Raiders. They're going to throw it out here, and they're going to say that one is incomplete, intended for Uriah Glenn, That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Boy, that was a good throw by Hartford on that play before.
And
not so much on that last one, but 2 plays ago.
It picks up their second first down of the first half. The Lynx sitting with 15 first downs. They've been converting at a high rate on 3rd down. Big conversions, and that's the recipe for winning football. As the Lynx 34 plays ran on offense for 292 yards already in this football game.
2nd and 10. They're going to throw it, and through the hands of Bridger Nesbitt. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. Another good throw by Hartford. And we got flags as well.
Could be a man downfield. We'll see what happens here.
And it's going to go against Rapid City Stevens. I'm not sure if the microphone was not working or. Yep, good call, my friend. And they're going to decline the penalty, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
Good call by Coach Garrow there as he declines it, forces them into a 3rd down. Sometimes you want to take the yard, sometimes you don't. But right now, when your defense is playing the way they are, eliminate the actual down. And that's what they're doing here by declining it.
3rd down and 10. Hartford. He's going to chuck it as far as he can, and it is knocked away. Beautiful play. Hunter Marceau. He's having a good first half. He's got an interception and a nice pass deflection. And here comes the punt team for Rapid City Stevens.
And that's just a good play as he looked back and he recovered. He looked back, so they can't call face guardian or anything on that because he actually looked back for the ball. That's just a really good play. We've seen Hunter Marceau come on a little bit as a corner here in the second half of the season, and he has an interception tonight, great coverage there, and like you said, it's going to bring on the Raiders punt team.
And it is Hartford punting. Also plays quarterback, also kicks off, also plays defensive back. Joe Kolbeck is back to receive this one. And he's going to get his hands on it. Gets past one man. Heads left. And the Lynx are going to have the football inside the 25-yard line again.
The Brandon Pizza Ranch, they are proud supporters of Brandon Valley activities and offer the finest pizza in town. Bring the family to their buffet before the game or order their delicious roasted chicken or pizza after the game. Give them a call at 582-6322, and they will deliver to your doorstep, tailgater, or wherever you are in town.
First down for the Lynx at the 22. Here's Jesse Steffel. Steffel stutters steps, and then he's across the 20.
Ball number 2, Steffel for Brandon Valley.
And he'll get a run of about 5 yards there. It's been methodical.
Number 33,
It has.
For the Lynx.
It's been you can't even say it's one man show. It hasn't been all Johnson. It hasn't been all Steffel. It hasn't been all Thomas Skolton, even though he's thrown for 4 touchdowns in this game. It hasn't been all Jackson Hilton, Cilliason. It's just been a host of a lot of players, and that's what you want is from an offense.
I don't know how much we'll be seeing the starters in the second half, but right now the Lynx are on pace for almost 600 yards of total offense. Johnson is dragging Raiders. He just dragged Joey Weber.
Johnson on the carry, number 21.
And it'll be about 3rd and 2.
And number 33, DeSmith for the Raiders.
And so they want to bury this clock and go into halftime, and they want to put up points. You want to make it a potential 49-7 football game going into halftime.
3rd down and 2. And now we've got a penalty marker. And this is going to go, I believe, against Brandon Valley. Possibly an illegal shift. No, now the Lynx are clapping. Now they're going to say it's offsides against the Raiders. So the Lynx don't need to convert. They get a first down.
Defense, star 74, 5-yard penalty, result on the first down.
After the penalty, it will be first down and goal at the 9-yard
So
line.
that's going to be the Raiders' second penalty of the night, 2 for 12 yards. Lynx have 2 penalties for 29 yards so far.
First and goal from the 9 for the Lynx. Jesse Steffel back in. That's Hilton at the top of your screen, the wide receiver. Play action. End zone. Dropped by Vegans. Incomplete.
Pass was intended for
That is rare. You don't usually see that. Now we've got flags coming in. And I think this is going to go against Rapid City Stevens as well.
Is it a late hit?
It's either a late hit or just unsportsmanlike.
Penalty flag into play.
I just saw, all I saw was Jackson Mullet fall down. So I don't know if that means that, you know, he could be guilty of something as well. I'm not sure, but we'll check the flag. Yep, unsportsmanlike or late hit, one of the two against Rapid City Stevens. So nothing going right for Stevens in this half.
So a personal foul, big yardage coming off 2 penalties.
Dead ball, personal foul. Defense,
Now the playbook becomes wide open again. I do like that play call on second down that they did there on that play action, because you had wide receivers running open again, all three of them.
Here is a handoff to Steffel. He's going to be just shy of a first of the end zone, excuse me.
Tackle made by number
Right around the
77,
2-yard line.
And number 33 to Smith.
And it'll be 3rd and goal from the 2.
Third down.
With about 1:30 to go in the first half, you know the score. They're trying to put more points on the board, your Lynx.
Steffel pushing. And the referees both converge.
Tackle on the carry. Making a stop.
And it's going to be 4th down. So
Isaac Johnson.
we know what the Lynx are going to do here. They're going to go for it.
Ball be spotted at the 1-yard line.
Keep the pedal down.
So we'll see what the Lynx decide to dial up here. Johnson comes into the game with Wickersham. Hilton, the only wide receiver. Going to pitch it out to Johnson. And he is in, flag on the play. And this is going to be a holding penalty against the Lynx.
Looks like Wickersham on the hold on number 10.
So with 31 seconds to go, Lynx will go. We'll see what they decide to do now. But Johnson did get into the end zone, but this one is coming back.
And so it's going to bring on
Holding, offense, number 42.
the field goal team for the Lynx.
In for the
So Sorensen.
81, Rory Sorensen.
And this will be a 28-yard field goal attempt left hash. Good snap. Jory. Boy,
Good.
he's been good this year, hasn't he? Very good this
Yes.
year. It's 45-7, Brandon Valley.
And you want a good kicking game going into the playoffs, and that's what the Lynx have as they score on special teams.
I'll tell you this, it's hard to kick in certain weather conditions, as cold as it's going to be. It's pretty easy to kick inside. Well, actually, are they going to be in Vermillion?
They're going to
this
be
year?
outside.
No, they're going to be at. They're going to be at. Yeah, they're going to be in Brookings.
Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium, the Jackrabbits Stadium.
Well, you screwed the entire thing, or I was just going to say, why couldn't you just tell me that they played at the Dakota Dome? Even if it's a
could've.
lie. I just want you to lie to me and make me think that I'm good, okay? Just, if you see me around, I got really bad self-esteem, so just tell me, like you were always right on the broadcast. I'll say he's tackled at the 40, and it'll be at like the 36, and people will be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking
Or like at the
about.
32. The Brandon
Yeah.
Community Foundation,
You're a jerk.
they are a permanent charitable endowment that supports activities that improve the quality of life for all ages in Brandon and Valley Springs. For more information, go to their website at brandoncf.org.
I think I'm going to give the game MVP to Jory because I just don't know. I can't decide yet. Just for him having all this time to kick, and well, that's really all he does is kick. But
That's really all he does. But
he's
that's
good at it.
crucial.
it's all he does, and he does it well.
The Brandon Valley Journal, they are your local news source covering all 11 Brandon Valley sports every week with stories and photos. You can get all the news in print or online, so if you haven't already subscribed, do it today by calling 605-582-9999.
And that's not a glitch in your computer, folks. It is 45-7, still in the first half. And here's a handoff, a nice-looking run by Uriah Glenn.
Carry number 26, Uriah Glenn.
And Glenn's been very quiet today.
Made by
Not only has he not gotten many touches or yards,
Kovac.
but he is just like the rest of Rapid City Stevens. They haven't been on the field very often. Just their 15th play.
15th play, 34 yards. We have an injury for the Raiders. Sign up for the Taco John's Rewards app on your phone for lots of deals and surprises. They have new and exciting products to choose from, and it's always made fresh just for you. The good folks at Taco John's want to thank you for your business. Go Lynx.
The Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce is a proud sponsor of Lynx TV. A strong and local business community is vital for the positive growth of the Brandon Valley area. Remember, when you shop Brandon, you support all things local. Go Lynx.
The Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club, they are hardworking, dedicated supporters of all Brandon Valley athletic programs, including Lynx TV. Sioux Valley Energy is the electric supplier for much of the Brandon Valley area and strong supporters of our community, including Lynx TV. They offer great service at reasonable rates. Go Lynx.
Thank you to our sponsors. Here is Glenn again. It's a nice run, but this is going to take us to halftime. A monster first half offensively and defensively and special teams-wise for the Lynx, and they have a 45-7 lead after giving up just 54 yards of total offense.
And so I don't believe we're going to have the Lynx marching band on the field tonight. And so we'll be off the air just for a little bit here, and then we'll bring you stats and some thoughts as we go into our second half of this quarterfinal game. We'll try to get you some scores here from the O'Gorman-Harrisburg game, which is the 4 and 5 seed. Roosevelt has already beat Watertown tonight. And the other, on the bottom of the bracket, I just told you about the top of the bracket, but the bottom of the bracket is Washington, the number 7 seed, versus the number 2 seed, Lincoln, which is a pivotal game as seedings go out for the semi-final game, assuming that our scoreboard holds the same as it is right now and goes the Lynx way. We'll be moving on to the semifinals. We'll talk to you in just a little bit.
Welcome back to Brandon Valley High School. The Lynx leading at halftime in this playoff game over the 6-seeded Rapid City Stevens Raiders, 45-7. We'll go through the statistics in just a moment. But first, we want to talk to you about valuable lessons. It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare South Dakota's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, you better think again, buckaroo. I added the buckaroo part. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. So Lynx up 45-7 here. 6-0 right now. Sioux Falls Lincoln. Is it Sioux Falls Lincoln that's playing right now against Sioux Falls Washington? Extra point was no good in that one. Pierre is also beating Spearfish 54-0. That doesn't really have much merit with our game considering they are a class lower. But those are just some of the scores as the Lynx and the Raiders are back on the field. The Lynx in the first half had 303 yards of total offense. And let's see if I can find it here. The statistics. Tommy Skolton, 9 of 12, 142 yards, and 4 touchdowns in that first half. 4 catches, 48 yards for Ciliuson. He had a touchdown catch. 3 catches, 72 yards for Jackson Hilton. He had 2 touchdowns. Austin Vegans, 1 catch for 3 yards, and a 19-yard touchdown for Peyton Carroll. 18 carries, 134 yards for Tate Johnson. 8 carries, 24 yards for Jesse Steffel. Skolton also had a 3-yard run. 161 yards rushing as 6.0 yards per clip for Brandon Valley. For Rapid City Stevens, Colton Hartford, 3 of 8, 28 yards, no touchdowns. He has 2 interceptions. They also had a fumble on special teams. 1 catch, 5 yards for Branson Keel. Bridger Nesbitt, 1 catch, 7 yards. And Trickamonen had 1 catch for 16 yards. Cam Jackson, 1 carry for 7 yards. Uriah Glenn, 4 carries for 18 yards, most of that on the last drive of the half. And Colton Hartford has 4 rushes for 1 yard. 54 total yards for Rapid City Stevens, as they're going to add just a couple of more minutes on the clock. So we would once again like to thank our sponsors, Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes, Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, Harry Buck with Hague Realtors, Alliance Communication, First National Bank, Pizza Ranch, the Brandon Community Foundation, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, the Brandon Valley Athletic Booster Club, and Sioux Valley Energy. And we thank those sponsors. For those of you still tuning in, with the Lynx up 45-7, I'm Kyle Roque. Ken McCune going to be joining me in just a few moments, as the Lynx will try to keep the pedal down and finish off a perfect season at home. And we'll see how long the starters remain in the game with the Lynx up by such a wide margin. Jory Sorensen and the Lynx will kick off to start the second half. It's been a rough go for this Rapid City Stevens offense. The only touchdown they scored was on a kickoff return touchdown. Everybody's on the field and ready, but the clock is still ticking down here as we're ready to begin. If I had to guess, this will be a little bit quicker of a half. I'm assuming there will not be too much to worry about as far as the Lynx go when it comes to opening up the playbook again. Do you want the mic on? Wade Ellis did it once, and he did a really good job. He was great. Better than Cam. That was a joke, by the way. Jory Sorensen ready to kick off the second half, and the second half is underway. Lynx up 45-7. And another nice-looking return for Rapid City Stevens.
On the return, number 18, Elijah
Ends
Oxner.
after Elijah Oxner was on the return. So here comes Colton Hartford. We'll kind of see what their second half strategy is to try and overcome a 45-7 deficit. And on first down, they're going to hand the ball off to Uriah Glenn. Glenn's going to get to about the 26-yard line.
Number 26.
And the tackle was made by, we believe, Damian Shunke. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 6. Hartford from the gun, as he usually is. He will throw, and he's going to roll. Parker Reed can't get him, and then he is ushered out of bounds by Eli Klein. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
On the stop, number 54, Eli Klein.
So number 57, Dominic Tucker, is now in the game. Aiden Lloyd also in the game. 3rd and 4. Hartford rolls, throws into the dirt, and the pass is incomplete. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
Incomplete. Bring up a 4th down.
So a big defensive stop for in the second half already. As don't scoreboard watch, just keep on playing the game,
Yep,
and that's what
exactly.
that defense did.
Yeah, I was just talking to these guys about if I don't think that we're going to have a very complicated strategy offensively, but we will see. And we're not even sure how long Tommy and Tate and those guys will stay in this game, especially if they put more points on the board. Good punt. And a fair catch by Joe Colbeck.
Fair catch by Joe Kovac at the 37.
And the Lynx will start at around the 37-yard line. So Skolton's still in the game here, along with the rest of the Lynx starting offense. That's McCann in motion. Here's the handoff to Johnson. And this offensive line, Johnson and Jesse Steffel, have been punishing this Rapid City Stevens offense, gain of 4.
And so I think what's going to happen here is that you talked about is the substitutions come in on the offensive side. Maybe give the offense 1 to 2 series, maybe just one, and to try to put that score up over 50 points, and then pull them. Give that second string a little bit of playing time because you never know, especially in these playoffs, if you're going to need them.
Johnson pushing the pile. A punishing run to midfield. That is some power right there, and he got a little bit of help with a push from Zach Bennett. First down, Brandon Valley.
Down, ball spotted at the 50-yard line. First down to 10, Brandon Valley.
20 carries, 147 yards for Johnson. Just another day at the office.
7.3 yard average. 1 touchdown.
And here he is again. Again, dragging defenders for a few extra yards.
So the one touchdown for the Raiders coming from the special teams unit, kickoff return team. Otherwise, defensively for the Lynx, they've just been stout all game and have limited the number of plays. You limited offense to 20 plays in a football game so far, and it's the third quarter. Boy, you're doing something special.
I think they call that controlling the ball.
Yeah.
Here is Jesse Steffel. And Steffel's going to get a first down as he moves across the 40. I think some Lynx fans wanted a flag.
Carry number 2, Jesse Steffel.
But it was a first down to the 40.
And I believe number 72 for the Lynx.
Rogo. Zach Rogo.
I think he's still out of the football game as he came off in the first half with an ankle. It looked like an ankle, and hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, not seeing him on the sideline either unless he's got a coat on. And Steffel, another good-looking run. But at this point, I don't know, man. Even if he is feeling pretty good, I'd probably just tell him, hey, let's get ready for next week here. But like we said, we don't want to speculate. We don't have any information. So
right. Well, he's a massive part of that offensive line as he plays left tackle, and we know how important left tackle is in football. And he's been, I can't remember what college he's going to, but he's going to play football at the next level, and he's been tremendous all year.
Tate Johnson back in. He gets to the 25, and that'll be a first down for the Lynx. They're not even pretending anymore, man. They're just going to run the ball gently down the field if they have to. And if Rapid City Stevens can't stop them, then they're just going to keep scoring.
Well, hey, it's playing to the clock right now. The Lynx want to bury that clock, even though it's a third quarter with 8:30 to go, and 45-7. Your Lynx over the Raiders. You know, you want to drain that clock as much as you can.
First down from the 25. They give it to him one more time. And he gets another first down to the 14. A few more chunks like that, you're going to be seeing over 200 yards again for Johnson. He just passed the 150 mark with a lot of time left on that clock. Just 4 minutes into this second half.
And him and Jesse have been tremendous on the ground. Jesse for 37 yards and 10 attempts, 23 attempts for Johnson at 158 yards.
Those are the two tight ends you just saw moving, Vegans and Carroll. They give it to Tate again. And he's going to be tackled right around the 7-yard line. And they only give him the 8.
And one thing maybe
we got an injury.
And one thing you may want to see, you know, from you talked about the tight ends moving in motion from right to left. You know, maybe do that, you know, because a lot of teams are going to, as they look at film for the Lynx, you know, is that the Lynx motion those two tight ends from right to left and do a play action off of that and bring those tight ends across the field. Boy,
it's worked.
That is lethal.
Not necessarily in that aspect, but that has worked for Vegans. He's been wide open across the middle.
And Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes, they are one of our sponsors, along with Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, Harry Buck, with Hag Realtors, Alliance Communications, the First National Bank, the Pizza Ranch of Brandon, the Brandon Community Foundation, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, the Brandon Valley Athletics Boosters Club, and Sioux Valley Energy. Thank you guys for a tremendous football season. As the Raiders player is going to walk off.
And that is number 33, senior Jacob DeSmit. And now he looks like he's feeling a little better.
But
See,
that
he's able to jog back after a brief time on the turf. Very worrying, but looks like he's going to be all right.
as they wind the clock, 7:30 to go, third quarter. Your Lynx up big.
Second down for the Lynx.
2nd and 4. Same formation. Johnson runs into some trouble and runs right out of it. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. That was one of the more impressive runs that we've seen from Tate Johnson, even though it was from short range. That was a stutter step that could make anybody fall out of their shoes.
Well, that cutback, he cut back to the right. He didn't see nothing to the left, and it was just a big pile there. That cutback, and give it up to the guard and tackle on that other side of the line, the right side of the line, for creating that wall so he could cut it back. Great run by Johnson.
Jory Sorensen, extra point good. It is now 52-7. Brandon Valley, who last week we talked about struggled a little bit, and Rapid City Stevens gave him some business, and they were able to hold on after a couple of mistakes, especially late. But I mean, they are just running roughshod over them right now with 212 yards on the ground.
And hopefully we can get some scores for you. At halftime, we didn't bring those to you.
I did.
You did.
Yep.
What was the scores?
It was 6-0 Lincoln over Washington. And then I can't remember the other one. Pierre was up 54-0, even though that doesn't have anything to do with our game. Let me see if I can get some updates here. Jory back to kick it again. Missed field goal. It's still 6-0 for them. Lincoln over Washington. As Sorensen gets this one away. And on the return, it is Elijah Oxner, and he's going to get out to right around the 20-yard line.
And so, like Kyle said, 52-7. We are in the third quarter, folks. Still 7:09 to go. In this quarterfinal game and the 11 AAA playoffs, as your Lynx are looking to punch their ticket into the semifinals. And we don't know who they're going to face because it's early in that ball game between Washington and Lincoln. Kyle gave you the score 6-0 Lincoln.
On first down, pass outside is caught by Nesbitt. They're going to say he did make the catch, and he's going to break a couple of tackles. And a nice-looking run after the catch. And they'll give him about 7 yards on that one.
Yeah, I thought it hopped.
So did I.
Skipped, I should say. But it didn't. And that's a pretty good gain as they're trying to get outside the hashes to the numbers with their wide receivers.
Wasn't able to get a score in the last 45 minutes. Big tackle in the backfield. And who do we got there? It was Parker Reed doing what he does best. That kid can make plays.
And this defense, we saw the defense last week, and it seemed like this week they've just even improved, and that's probably a lot to do with coaching too, coaching and adjustments and knowing what they're going to bring to the table. You've already seen them once on your field, and really hats off to the coaching staff, the defensive staff also, for making the adjustments because this defense has just been outstanding in this ballgame.
They're down. Here comes pressure. Hartford gets away. Can he get the first down? Yes, he can. He's out of bounds. Flags come in late. Thought Nemec was going to come in on a blitz. He backed off, and it was actually Eli Klein that brought some heat.
Looked like maybe a block in the back earlier in the play from number 12, one of their receivers, but they didn't call it, and it's going to be a personal foul, like you said.
Max Johnson in the game for the Lynx now. As is Carson Mashlin. He's a junior.
After the play,
And this is against Brandon Valley.
Number 20 on the defense, 15-yard penalty.
And Lake Trevere is going to get flagged here for the penalty. So first down and 10 now for Stevens. From the 47, Hartford. He's in trouble. He's in big trouble. And he throws it away. Oh, boy. If I had Parker Reed running at me from across the field, I would feel a little bit squeamish as well, and I think Hartford definitely felt at that time.
They tried to block him, but that didn't work.
No, he didn't even push him away. He just
a
slapped
swat.
him away. Yeah. Get away from me. Boy, he's been very good tonight. He's been all over the field.
He is. He's a tremendous defensive end for that defense. As we talked about last year, he came on to the scene real big, and he's starting these playoffs huge.
Sophomore Carson Askdahl is getting loose on the Lynx sideline. Hartford is gobbled up. Pick your poison. There was about 4 Lynx there. And number 57, Dominic Tucker, was at the bottom of the pile. That's who they're going to give it to.
And 44, Parker Reed.
Josh Pickthorn in for the Lynx now.
Bring up a 3rd down and 12.
And I'm not sure if that's Mooch Knaus or Levi Pfeiffer, number 36. We're starting to fog up here a little bit. And we're sure as heck not opening the windows because it's chilly. Hartford, he's in trouble again. And we got a penalty marker on the play. Parker Reed forced him out for a loss of about 8 yards, but we will check the flag. This is going to go against Rapid City Stevens, and they're going to be forced to punt because it's going to be 4th and a mile either way.
It's going to be almost like, it looked like a trip.
Yeah, let's see. Well, they're going to push him back, way back,
Blocking the back.
all the way to the 20-yard line.
10-yard penalty, spot foul.
Because it was considering it was a spot foul, and he was 10, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Lincoln still leading Washington 6-0.
In the 3rd quarter, Sioux Falls O'Gorman 17, Harrisburg.
O'Gorman up 17-6 in the 3rd quarter as well.
After the penalty, ball will be spotted at
So it'll be 3rd down and 37. Let's see what Rapid City Stevens dials up here.
A little bit of a screen pass, just to pick up some manageable yards maybe,
Yeah.
so they can get
Draw
that
play.
punting team back on the field.
And now Rapid City Stevens is going to think about it, and they got a lot to think about because 37 yards, whew, boy, that is tough.
So total yards in this game, your Lynx 354 yards to the good, and the Raiders are sitting with 61 in this game, and that'll tell you all about what that scoreboard says. Is the Lynx have been super efficient offensively and defensively, and that's how you want to roll into these playoffs. You want to make it a score like this, and we talked about putting the pedal down, and you have to do that all through these playoffs, and that's what they're doing. They're starting out real well.
Starting fast. 3rd and 37. Yeah, and they're just going to run it. And it's a good run. But Glenn, even though it was a good run, didn't even get close, not only to the first down marker, but to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be a punt. We will see who comes in for the Lynx on offense here with under almost 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
punt formation, number 36, Levi Pfeiffer.
And it is Levi Pfeiffer back to receive this punt. And he bobbled the return, and Rapid City Stephen falls on top of it. So the Raiders are going to have the ball plus side of the field now.
Well, special teams, they've scored. The Raiders have scored at special teams with a kickoff return. Also, they've now recovered a fumble, and the Lynx have too with their special teams. So maybe something to work on this week is that special teams is the teams in the next round. They're going to have good special teams play.
Hartford, he's going for it all into the end zone. Beautiful throw, and that is caught for a touchdown by Bridger Nesbitt. That was a great throw by Hartford.
But maybe, just maybe, that wide receiver got open like that because of a little bit of a nudge. It may be pass interference. You are seeing a yellow flag, and you are seeing the offense move back. I believe it's pass interference on the wide receiver because all of a sudden he just became open.
Yeah.
And Hunter Marshall was great coverage on him, and that separation happened late.
Boy, they can't catch a break tonight.
And that was a great throw.
Yeah, it was. This kid's got this Hartford kid. He can sling it, man. If you give him some time and some wide receivers that can catch the ball, he stinks to see his career end like this. Is basically what I'm saying, because we were singing his praises last game. We thought he was very good. Made a couple of bad mistakes, but even in this game, he's made some nice throws. One of the interceptions was tipped. He's running for his life.
So it's going to be 1st and 25 from the 48.
And pushed back to their own side of the field now. It's like Klein might be bringing some heat here. They are. And he just throws it away, and there's going to be another flag because I think that's going to be intentionally grounding. But wait, he was outside the pocket, so maybe not. Maybe it'll be a late hit out of bounds. Maybe it'll be something else.
A lot of
Maybe they'll pick it
flags
up
so far in this second half.
Maybe they're going to penalize us for having such a great broadcast. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
No, I don't think so.
There's always a possibility that they...
I guess.
So they have a phone in their pocket. No, never mind.
Stevens is going to be pushed back even further. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So now it's...
Offense, number 6. 5-yard penalty, final foul. Launch it down, second down.
So intentional grounding is going to be the call. 2nd and 35 for the Raiders.
They're just going to hand it off here on 2nd down for Glenn. And that's going to bring up another long 3rd down attempt. It's going to be around 3rd and 30.
So one thing it is doing, though, it's letting that clock tick. And we're still in the 3rd quarter with about 3:10 to go. But 3rd and a mile.
3rd and 37 last drive, 3rd and 26 now. They're going to try and throw for it. Parker Reed's coming again, and they do get a completion and a decent one, but once again, not even back to the original line of scrimmage. So we'll see what they decide to do here, down 52-7, and they are just going to wave the white flag again. They are going to punt.
And that's smart. Why give field position to that high-powered offense? Keep on playing like the game's close, and continue to play football the way. Stevens they were pretty decent all year.
They put up some tough fights. They did. They put up a tough fight last week. And that pass was actually incomplete. That's my fault. So it'll be 4th and 26. I don't know how you can ever trust me again. And this one will bounce out of bounds at right around the 14-yard line. 2:42 left here in the third quarter. And the Lynx are going to start bringing in some of the second stringers here, including sophomore quarterback Carson Askdahl. And it looks like Jordan Johnson will be in the backfield.
Quarterback in the game, number 13, Carson Askdahl.
So 1st and 10 for Askdahl and the Lynx. Washington just took a 7-6 lead, by the way. If Washington is able to win that game, as it's going to be a short game, the Lynx will host next week.
And
so keep a keen eye on that.
And we will bring that to you
Oh,
live.
you think we will? Think we won't? Carter Van Heel checks out of the game. Jackson Mullets in at the offensive line position for Brandon Valley. Get you some other names as well. It's Peyton Carroll in motion. And they're going to give it to Johnson again with some nice quickness across the 25 to the 15 to right around the 20. And that's going to bring up a third down.
On the carry, number 28, Jordan Johnson.
Also number 63, Carter Holmes in on that offensive line for the Lynx. I think that's Nate Myers as well, number 65. I believe Aiden Caston in there as well. Askdahl from the gun. Actually, it's the pistol. And he's going to try and run with it here, and I think he's going to be shy. It's going to be close, but he's going to be short, and I think that's going to make the Lynx punt. As we are under a minute to go here in the third quarter, Tommy Skolton and the rest of the Lynx starting offense already out of the game.
Very efficient tonight, that starting offense. Tate Johnson, 25 rushes, 172 yards at a 6.9 average, and he had 2 touchdowns. And Thomas Skolton with a big day, or evening tonight. Very efficient in throwing 4 touchdowns.
Great punt by Sorensen, and it's going to bounce. Beautiful punt out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Jory Sorensen has had a great night.
He has. And special teams, we talked about it last series, when we kicked that field goal, is special teams can play a massive, massive role in playoff games. Mm-hmm. I mean, with field position, field goals, extra points, everything together, kickoffs, it just plays a vital, vital role. And winning football games, especially in the playoffs. And when you have a kicker like that that's playing at a high level right now, that's always a great asset to have.
Hartford from the gun. And a handoff, and an ugly one at that, as Glenn runs up the middle for a 4-yard gain. And that will end our third quarter. Leadership you can believe in. Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in South Dakota. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, and being a good role model. It's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports, there's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right. How many more do we have to
Just
do?
one more.
Perfect.
So
you got that?
No, we'll do that. We'll do that one a
wanna
little
do it?
later. Why don't you
Okay.
go ahead with the sponsors?
All right. Since the windows are fogging up,
Yeah, we can't
some more.
see.
we have a score, like Kyle said, 7-6, Washington over Lincoln with 3 minutes to go in the first half there. As that, boy, would that be a big upset. Number 2 and 7.
Yeah.
7 being Washington, Lincoln being 2.
Hartford going deep, got a man open, and it is caught by Colton Dooney. And Dooney is across midfield to the 45. Another beautiful throw by Hartford.
Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes is one of our Lynx TV sponsors, along with Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent. Harry Buck with Heg Realtors is another Lynx TV sponsor.
On first down, Hartford going deep, and it is somehow caught. An incredible catch down the sideline, and it is caught by Bridger Nesbitt.
You could almost call it offensive interference there, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pushing going on.
Ethan House on the coverage.
Alliance Communications, your Lynx TV sponsor, along with First National Bank. The Pizza Ranch of Brandon, the Brandon Community Foundation, the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, the Brandon Valley Athletics Boosters Club, and Sioux Valley Energy. Thank you, Lynx TV sponsors.
Chris Gascoigne in there for the Lynx as well now on the first and goal handoff. Nice stop by this Lynx defense. Dante Miller in there as well, as is Ethan McManus.
I wanted to give a little plug out to a new business that's here in town. Is the Drop Nutrition. They're Herbalife nutrition place where you can get a host of drinks, protein drinks. They call it a lift up, I believe, energy drink. But that's located in the same little strip mall as the Brandon Steakhouse. Give them a visit. They're great. I do every morning, and I have a cup up here tonight. Went there right before this telecast. They're awesome. I told them I'd give them a little plug because they do great business, and they're new in town. And they've done amazing things.
Great.
And given a lot of, we saw on their Facebook page, gave all the teachers in the Brandon Valley school, all the schools, I think, over 40 drinks
nice.
To the teachers. So,
Wow, that's excellent.
give them a visit.
Yeah. And since you gave a shout out, I'm going to give a shout out to Jack's Pizza because they're just the best, man. I eat it every single night, and that's not an exaggeration. You're starting to be able to tell. Every time I go into the grocery store, they're always there for me. If I have a bad day, if I'm going over a breakup, if I, want a distraction from going back to the gym, Jack's Pizza is always there for me.
Pepperoni, huh?
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
Thin crust?
pepperoni. Sure.
Well, Jack's Pizza, they
Washington
don't.
just took a 14-6 lead, by the way.
Holy cow! We might be back,
smokes,
and
people.
you might hear our voices again.
Sorry, you're stuck with us.
52-14, as the Raiders have put points on the board on that big pass, and then another pass over to the right-hand side of that offensive formation to complete a pass for a touchdown. So 52-14, 10-12 to go in this ball game. The quarterfinals here on Lynx TV in Brandon, South Dakota.
Well, we talk about the Lynx trying to defend their football title, but remember, you're not getting rid of us that easily even if we don't have a game next week, because Ken and I will be back doing boys basketball, which we're really excited for. They'll try to defend their title. And a nice-looking return here and a fumble, but I think Brandon Valley did fall on it.
Just got a message. They are watching on the Lynx YouTube page out in White Lake, South Dakota. The Pheasant Hunters.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Harry Buck and members out there in White Lake
Yeah.
watching us live. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So 10:04 to go. Once again, we apologize if we're having trouble seeing names and numbers. Our entire booth has really started to fog up here. We're trying to keep it as clean as possible, but
Dead ball, personal foul.
and we're going to have a personal foul penalty against Brandon Valley.
15-yard penalty. First.
Now Matt Brown, number 4, is in at quarterback after Carson Asdahl handed it off a few times. At the bottom of your screen, number 18, Carson Mashlin. Play fake. Brown throws it, and it's just out of the reach and incomplete. It was intended for Damon Vischer.
Pass for number 4, Matt.
Going to bring up a third down. I also got another message that 330 viewers just on the YouTube side
Wow.
for Lynx TV. So thank you all for tuning in.
That's just right now, or is that earlier in the game?
That's been throughout the broadcast.
Okay. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. I'm sure there's plenty of you that are at home right now listening to Ken McCune. I'm Kyle Roque. Here is the handoff and a nice-looking run, this time by Jordan Johnson. And he's going to be close to a first down. Nice-looking run from him. He is just a sophomore, and he looks like he's got some talent. 5'11", buck 85.
3 on the tackle. 9-yard gain. That will bring up a third
And it's going to be third and very short here.
3rd and 1, 9:30 to go. Quarterfinal game. Your Lynx are up big still, 52-14.
Carter Van Heel at the bottom of your screen. And it's going to be a fullback handoff and a first down for Brandon Valley. That'll move the sticks.
And it will eventually make that clock move.
Yep. And I believe it was Damian Vischer again, this time on the run.
So we got that score update. 14-6. The Washington Warriors, the number 7 seed, the bottom side of the bracket, and 11 AAA over Lincoln going into halftime.
They've had some flashes as well this year, Washington has, that if they can get all their talent together, they can be successful. Here's Johnson. And a big hit, a nice-looking hit, as Jordan Johnson, the sophomore, pushes forward for a gain of 5. Nice run. Boy, he's got some moves as well.
He does. We talked about him earlier in the year, remember. And when I was coaching in the FBU, the 7th and 8th grade teams, and the national team from South Dakota, Jordan Johnson was a 7th grade running back, and he ran all over 2 different teams, Kansas
Really?
City and Wisconsin, those teams.
Wow.
He's really, really good. He's an up-and-comer for this Lynx football team in that backfield.
Gets the call again. Nothing this time. Ryan Dahl in the game as well for the Lynx. Brown, the 3rd quarterback used by Brandon Valley tonight. As we're under the 8-minute mark. And the Lynx are going to move on here. Brown throws it. Too tall. Incomplete. Intended for Mashlin. That'll bring up a 4th down, and the Lynx will be punting again.
So that'll stop the clock. You never want to stop the clock with a score like this and 7:41 to go. But that's what happened. The Lynx offense, the special teams are going to have to come onto the field and that punt formation.
Got an extra Lynx sprinting on here. And it is, I believe it's Ciliuson out there to punt. So Cole Ciliuson, usually a wide receiver, back to punt for Sorensen. And this is a shorter punt. But it's going to take a nice Lynx inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
So we have some stats to talk about here. is
I love stats.
well. Okay, we already brought that score. Listen to the PA guys as the crowd cheers because that 14-6 halftime score with Washington
Crazy
over Lincoln right now.
So far, so good. Still a lot of game left there, though.
So 379 yards of total offense for your Lynx. The Raiders with 155 yards of total offense.
First down and 10. They are going to just hand it off here to Glenn, and he's going to have a nice run here across the 40 to right around the 41. Ryan Dahl on the tackle for Brandon Valley.
Josh Pickthorn.
Actually, they're going to give the tackle to Pickthorn,
He's spotted at the 42-yard line. First down and 10
who
Raiders.
is in the game now. Sorry, go ahead.
The clock's going to keep on ticking. They didn't even stop the clock on first down there.
I don't blame him. Max Johnson in there for Brandon Valley. Also number 9, Jackson Brueggemann, getting his first playing time in a while here, as there's a new quarterback in for Rapid City Stevens as well. It is number 10, Joe Weber, who spent some time on the defensive side of the football.
Hey, how good are the Minnesota Gophers? Just talking about them
Well,
for a second.
we don't really know. We're going to learn a lot in 2 weeks. I'm really excited for it. I'm going to try and find a way to get a cheap ticket maybe and head up there. But I think that they're pretty good. Penn State, man, they are the real deal. And it's not only that the Gophers, as this pass is caught on the right side by number 25 Carter Esser, but when they played SDSU, and I'm listening to the media up in Minneapolis telling them, saying how pathetic it was that it was so close. SDSU is a good team, man. You're telling me that SDSU, NDSU, some of those top programs in the FCS division couldn't beat Rutgers on a weekly basis, Maryland, like some of these bottom feeder teams? Absolutely not. So, but it was against those cupcake teams, and there's a fumble, and it is scooped up by Brandon Valley. They get another turnover.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But
the true test is coming up in the later part of this schedule. But being 8-0, ranked 13th in the nation, Wisconsin with 2 losses on the season to Illinois and Ohio State. That Illinois one was a big one, and so the West is wide open, and they're sitting on top of it.
They have a legitimate chance of being the West champions of the West, and it's crazy to think about. They could be playing Ohio State in Indiana, but like I said, it's not only that they've beaten these Big Ten teams, even though they're not the cream of the crop, they are just destroying them. They destroyed Maryland at home last week. I think they're really starting to open things up. Here's a handoff on first down. Short gain on that play. Thank you.
And so we are
trying to fight the elements here.
Yeah. We are working to clean off the windows.
World Series just wrapping up yesterday. I was talking to a couple of the stats people about that as well. Very fun World Series. First in any sport that plays a 7-game series, it's the first time that the away team won all 7 games, which is just insane to me, and probably very disappointing for people who spent thousands of dollars to get World Series tickets and not one of them saw a win.
Right.
But it's good for the Nationals. First time a Washington team has won a World Series since Walter Johnson in 1924. And do you know what that Senators team turned out to be? Because they relocated?
The Twins.
The Twins. That's exactly right. So if you think about it, in a way, the Twins won the World Series this year too. That makes absolutely no sense. Said some dumb stuff up here. On third down, like it might have been a busted play, as Asdal is not going to get much. It's going to be 4th and 9, and the Lynx will punt again.
So it's going to be interesting as we look at the playoff picture, we know Roosevelt's punched their ticket into the semis. O'Gorman was leading Harrisburg, I believe, 17-6, and Washington leading at halftime, 14-6 over Lincoln. And Brandon Valley has this game in control with 4:15 to go, 52-14. This is truly, besides the Roosevelt game I heard was a blowout, but this is truly what the recipe held in this quarterfinals. Is you want from the Lynx to really put the pedal down and be chugging in these playoffs, as they're going to go to, my belief is they're going to go to 1-0 in this new season, as we call it, the 2019-11 AAA playoffs.
And if they continue to play like this, they'll be in good shape. Here's the handoff on first down. And look who makes the tackle with a big roar from the Lynx sidelines, number 55, Kellen Tull.
On carry, Glenn. 2-yard gain on that
So,
play. Second down and
I'm just
7.
talking to one of the players, even he's not sure why he's getting the hype, but good for him. He's on that defensive front right now. Also in the game, number 89, Hunter Anderson. Another new quarterback in for Rapid City Stevens, by the way, as this pass is caught, and it's going to be close to a first down. Justin Alcorn, a sophomore. He's got some size at 6'4".
From number 15, Justice Alcorn.
The most important part of that play is they kept the player in bounds to keep the clock moving.
Yes. Play of the
That's
game.
important.
Want to go through our sponsors one more time here?
Yeah.
Justin Oakland of Oakland Homes is the builder and developer of the lake at Aspen Harbor in the heart of Brandon. Coming soon will be great buildings lots at the new Twin River Crossing development. Give Justin a call at 605-553-5311. Alcorn from the gun here. Now he's in trouble. And he is taken down by Isaac Klinkhammer.
Bill Thompson, your State Farm agent, is the person to talk to for all your personal and business insurance needs. Bill is located at 312 South Split Rock Boulevard, or give him a call, 605-582-4343. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Give Harry Buck with Heg Realtors a call at 605-366-0221, or go to harrybuck.com for any and all of your real estate needs. Harry and the team at Heg love turning dreams into addresses. Just remember the 3 rules of real estate: location, location, Harry Buck.
Nathan Swanson making the catch, but he's not going to get far. Alliance Communication is the leading internet, cable, and phone provider in the Brandon area. Alliance customers have 100% fiber to the home, and that puts them light years ahead of most homes throughout the county. Go Lynx. At First National Bank, the student checking account is perfect for those 25 and younger. It provides convenient access to tools like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. They are proud supporters of all things Brandon, like the new baseball complex, First National Bank Field at Aspen Park. 3rd down and 10. Alcorn from the gun. He's going to let it go deep, and it is caught, and this is going to be a touchdown.
Touchdown Raiders.
And the Raiders get another touchdown late, but the Lynx will get the ball back and should be able to run out the clock.
The Pizza Ranch of Brandon, they are proud supporters of Brandon Valley activities and offer the finest pizza in town. Bring the family to their buffet before the game, or order their delicious roasted chicken or pizza after the game. Call them at 582-6322, and they will deliver to your doorstep, tailgater, or wherever you are in town. The Brandon Community Foundation is a permanent charitable endowment that supports activities that improve the quality of life for all ages in Brandon and Valley Springs. For more info, go to their website at brandoncf.org.
Brandon Valley Journal, your local news source covering all 11 Brandon Valley sports every week with stories and photos. You can get all the news in print or online. So if you haven't already subscribed, do it today. 605-582-9999. Sign up for the Taco John's Rewards app on your phone for lots of deals and surprises. They have new and exciting products to choose from, and it's always made fresh just for you. The good folks at Taco John's want to thank you for your business. Go Lynx.
The Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, they are a proud sponsor of Lynx TV. A strong local business community is vital for the positive growth of the Brandon Valley area. Remember, when you shop in Brandon, you support all things local. Go Lynx. The Brandon Valley Athletics Boosters Club. They are hardworking, dedicated supporters of all Brandon Valley athletic programs, including Lynx TV, and Sioux Valley Energy is the electric supplier for much of the Brandon Valley area and strong supporter of our community, including Lynx TV. They offer great service at reasonable rates. Go Lynx.
Nice looking return here for Brandon Valley.
On the return, number 82, Thompson.
And that was Thompson on the return, number 82, Noah Thompson. So with
Number 33.
1:17 to go, we're not sure if we're ever going to see for football again this year, folks. But right now it's 14-6 at half. Washington leads. If Washington holds on, reminder, we will be back here for Lynx TV's semifinal action. I think that's going to be the first time Lynx TV's ever had a semifinal game, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a possibility.
It might maybe 2016. We might have had a home game that year, but I'm not 100% sure. No, I don't think we did.
I think it's been quarters, and that's about it.
Yep.
So we are hoping.
There's a
Second down for Lynx.
knee, and we're going to be at about a minute to go. Close to the game. I love playing high school sports. I love the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry. Actually, that's true. Like, I could actually say that. And I wanted to keep playing, but I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. In fact, most of the colleges, when they saw me pitch, asked me to not come within 500 yards of any of their schools or baseball fields. Let me start over. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in South Dakota did. And now I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again. Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Well, your Lynx are victorious as the clock.
Were they ever?
Boy, was that second half fun. 52-21, your Lynx advance to the semifinals. We don't know who they'll face, and we hope it is Washington so we can bring it to you live from this field. Kyle?
Brandon Valley wins 52-21 thanks to the running game, and, well, it was just an overall great game. Great game by Tommy Skolton, great game by Tay Johnson, great game by everybody. Once again, the final score 52-21. If Washington holds on and wins, we will see you next week. If not, as always, it has been an honor to call football games for Brandon Valley, and we will see you during basketball season. For Ken McCune, I'm Kyle Roki.
Have a good night.